tapakathamritam tapta jivanam kabiviriditam kalmashapam Shravanamangalam Shri Madatatam Bhuvigrinanti ye Varidayana. The nectar of the words is the life for those who are scorched by the world. The words which have been uttered by the knowers of truth, which wipe out sins, the very hearing of which is beneficial, which are beautiful, pleasing to the ears, pleasing to the hearts, which are inexhaustible. Those who recount them on the earth are the givers of plenty. Talks with Swami Vivekananda. Recorded by Sharat Chandra Chakraborty, a disciple of Vivekananda. When I read the translation of this book, I feel that how translation is inadequate to express the original. Behind Swamiji's words, there is tremendous power. That power came from his spiritual disciplines, his experiences, his grace of his Guru. He is speaking from his own realization. That makes the difference. The Upanishad tells us, Tejamoyi Bak, the speech, human beings, the talk comes from the fire. If you have fire inside, that comes out from your lips, from your mouth. If you do not have fire inside, knowledge, wisdom inside, your words will not penetrate into others. That's the reason when we read Sri Ramakrishna's words, it penetrates. Swamiji's words, tremendous power. Disciple, when alas will that happen, sir? From the Shastras, scriptures, we hear how many births we have had to pass in ignorance. Previously, Swamiji said, Kalena Atmani Vindati. Time factor is there. You cannot attain the highest knowledge all of a sudden. Sri Ramakrishna said, the mother bird knows when she will break this shell of the bird of the egg. If the fledgling becomes matured, at that time mother bird breaks the shell. Time factor is there in human life. Surgery. If you want to have a cataract surgery, the doctor will wait when the cataract is matured. At that time he will do the surgery. Time factor is there. Same thing in spiritual life. Time factor is there. Some people come and I want instant illumination. It does not work that way. I sometimes say, if you want a child, at least you will have to wait 9 months. Time factor. That Swamiji said, then disciple said, sir, we do not know when shall we get liberation and this and that. Swamiji, what is the fear? When you have come here this time, the goal shall be attained in this life, liberation or samadhi. All this consists in simply doing away with the obstacles to the manifestation of Brahman. Otherwise, the self is always shining forth like the sun. The cloud of ignorance has only veiled it. Remove the cloud, and the sun will manifest. Then you will get into the state of Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. The knots of the heart are torn asunder. The various paths that you find all advise you to remove the obstacles on the way. The way by which one realizes the self is the way which he preached to all, but the goal of all is the knowledge of the self, the realization of the self. To each, all men, all beings have equal right. This is the view acceptable to all. Swamiji is encouraging his disciples, don't be afraid. When you have come to us, he was in war of Brahman, he will get it. The job of the Guru is to remove the obstacle. And the job of the disciple is self-effort. You will have to make effort by yourself. As Sri Ramakrishna said, the breeze of grace is always blowing. You will have to unfurl the sail, then that breeze, that air, that wind will catch your sail and you will take you to destination. You will have to unfurl the sail. There is no other way. The sail is on the boat, but you didn't unfurl, so your boat will move around. Last, in February, I went into the Pacific Ocean in a boat. Our boat, then two persons are there. One person was manipulating this sail, another person was driving the boat. He turned off the engine. Swami, let it go by the ocean breeze. We have unfurled the sail. The boat was moving very smoothly. Unfurled the sail. Sometimes when we come to St. Louis, above the cloud we see bright sun. Then slowly the plane enters through the cloud. At that time we cannot see anything through the window. Slowly it comes to the airport area and you can see the whole St. Louis city looks dark, overcast. But above, bright sun. We experience it. So on human mind we find a cloud of ignorance. That cloud. How can we blow it away? That is the question. Self-effort and divine grace, both are necessary. Then he said, Vidyate Hridaya Granthi Siddhante Sarva Samshaya Kshiyante Chaisya Karmani Tasmin Drishte Parapare. Hridaya Granthi. Granthi means ignorance. In the heart chakra, consciousness and unconsciousness meet, which animates our human system. So that Granthi, the knot, is cut asunder. Then all doubts will dispel. All actions will cease to function when you experience the Atman. So ignorance will go away, doubt will go away, all activities will stop. That is the way we attain the knowledge of Brahman. Obstacles. Or one Swami used to tell a very funny story. Could you see your own obstacles? One day Krishna says, there are so many obstacles for taking bath in the Ganges. Is that so? Arjuna, Bhima says, Krishna, I am going to break all these obstacles. Will you go? Today is a very auspicious day. Millions of people will take bath in the Ganges. You go and destroy the obstacles. So he went, took his big mace and walking on the bank of the river, he wanted to destroy all the obstacles. He did not find any. Then in the evening he came back. Krishna says, did you find any obstacle? No. I did not find any obstacle there. Did you take any bath in the Ganges? No. I was busy to break the obstacles. Look, thousands of people took bath in the Ganges and got virtue. And you were on the bank of the Ganges all the time and you did not take the bath in the Ganges. Obstacle. That's the funniest story. That is another thing Swamiji said. Everyone, man, woman, has right to have self-knowledge. It is nobody's property. Oh, only men will attain Brahman, not women. No. You see, linga viburjitam, man, male, female, all these things are not in the Atma. Atma is consciousness. Male, female, all these things begin the moment you have a body. But it is bodiless, pure consciousness. That consciousness dwells in all beings. That Swamiji is talking about. All beings have equal rights. Don't think only. I had a friend, he is retired now, he was a professor of St. Louis University, Jesuit monk. He says, Swami, we have a little problem. We think Catholics are the best among the Christians. But my friend, he is a Protestant, good man, but I think I'm better than him. I cannot help it, Swami. Then we think men are better than women. And white people are better than black people. Swami, we cannot help it. When the Baptist people think that only they will be able to go to heaven, Catholic people are the same way. Jehovah's Witness also. Linga viburjitam. Disciple, sir, when I read or hear these words of the scriptures, the thought that the self has not yet been realized makes the heart very disconsolate. Swamiji, this is what is called longing. The more it grows, the more will the cloud of obstacles be dispelled, and the stronger will faith be established. Gradually, this self will be realized like a fruit on the palm of one's hand, This realization alone is the soul of religion. Everyone can go on abiding by some observances and formalities. Everyone can fulfill certain injunctions and prohibitions. But a few have this longing for realization. This intense longing, becoming mad after realizing God, or getting the knowledge of the self, is real spirituality. The irresistible madness which the gopis had for the Lord Sri Krishna. Yea, it is intense longing like that which is necessary for the realization of the self. Even in the gopis' mind, there is a slight distinction of man and woman. But in real self-realization, self-knowledge, there is not the slightest distinctions of sex. Longing, hunger for God, yearning for God. If you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, almost in every page you will find Sri Ramakrishna talking about longing. People shed jug full of tears for wife, for money, for children. Who weeps for God? Longing is the signal that you will realize God very soon. When you see the golden glow in the eastern horizon, the sun has not yet risen, you know the sun will rise very soon. With that golden glow in the eastern horizon in the morning indicates the sunrise. So the moment you see you have longing, Lord, I want you in my life. That means you are very close. How to create this longing? That is the question. Sri Ramakrishna says, Bhog na hole, tag hoy na. If you have not completed your enjoyment, your renunciation will not come. You must fulfill your desires. Some desires will bind you. Those bad desires, you will have to get rid of through discrimination. Small desires, fulfill them. Desires are obstacles. Longing. Vedanta says, Dipto Shira Jalorashimibo. You know what does mean? Means your cloth, your hair caught fire. What will you do at that time? Do you go to bed? You jump in the swimming pool, or you go under the shower to stop that fire. So same thing, at that time, that person's body caught fire, he runs like anything to save his own life. If you have that kind of longing, that means Vedanta says that is a signal, you will realize God very soon. Sri Ramakrishna told another parable. A disciple wanted, Sir, I want to realize God. So Guru said, all right, let us go to that lake. When disciple, let us go and take bath together. So the disciple, when he dived inside the water, the Guru pressed his shoulder and put him under the water. And disciple was trying to come out from the water, but the Guru will not let him. Slowly, Guru disciple was about to collapse. At that time, the Guru lifted him up. How did you feel? Sir, I was dying for a breath. I was gasping, I was about to die. I was dying for a breath. When you have this kind of feeling, you will realize God. But this thing in America, we cannot do it, you see. A wife abuse, husband abuse, children abuse, disciple abuse, I will be in jail. cannot jump on my disciple and put him under water. Disciple abigus, case, file a suit. In Laguna Beach, I was giving a class. So I was trying to say, please, sir, somebody asked Ramkrishna, sir, kishi hoy? How can I realize God? Do you know what he said? Roz ekbar kore kante paro. Can you weep once a day for God? Every day weeps, once a day. So I was talking about longing and yearning and how to weep for God. So Chaitanya as a disciple, everybody is in kirtan, singing and dancing, and they're crying, and this disciple is crying, cry does not come. So what he did, he took a chili powder in his pocket. He put it in his eyes and showing people, look, my tears come from my eyes. Chili powder. So I told that one girl got up and said, Swami, shall I put chili powder in my eyes? I go, don't. Your eyes will be damaged and then I will be sued. Chili powder. But, Chaitanya admired, at least this person is trying to bring tears in the eye. Yeah, it's not that you will have to bring tears. Some kind of eye drop. Some actresses, they use those things, to show their tears.
Glycerin.
Huh?
Glycerin.
Is that so?
They say glycerin.
Anyway, our eye doctor is there. She gave some drops to me to make for the dry eye. Yearning. Then he talked about the gopis. If you read Gopi Gita, I think it is 31st or 32nd chapter of the 10th book of the Bhagavatam. With the verse in the opening I sing, Tava Kathamritam, it is from Gopi Gita. Surata Vardhanam Shokonasanam Swarita Benuna Sustu Chumbitam Itara Biranir Vitarestanam. Anyhow, there was what kind of yearning, longing came in the heart of those gopis when Krishna disappeared from them. They cried and cried and cried. And what does cry do? Do you know what tears do? Janma janmantare moner glani onurago srute dhuye muche jai. Ramakrishna said that. Birth after birth, all the impurities of your heart will be washed away if you cry for God. Tears washes the impurities of the heart. Self-knowledge. While speaking thus, Swamiji introduced the subject of Gita Govinda and continued saying, Gita Govinda is a devotional exposition of Krishna by the gopis, composed by Jayadeva. Jayadeva was the last poet of Sanskrit literature, though he often cared more for the jingling of words than for depth of sentiment. But just see how the poet has shown the culmination of love and longing in the shloka. patati patatre vichalita patre shankita bhavad upayanam rachayati shayanam sachakita nayanam pashyati tabha panthanam. It is very, a lot of alliteration, very poetic and rhythmic, and the wordings are so sweet, full of emotion, full of sentiment. At the flying of a bird or the stirring of a leaf, he fancies you are coming. He arranges your bed with eyes all alert, looking toward the way you would come. What an imagination! A flying bird or a stirring leaf, hey, Krishna is coming, Krishna is coming. So I shall make bed for my beloved. It is full of emotion and love, full of madhura bhava, sweet relationship with God. Such love indeed is necessary for self-realization. There must be fretting and pining within the heart. Now from his playful life at Vrindavan, come to the Krishna of Kurukshetra and see how that also is fascinating, how amidst all the horrible din and uproar of fighting, Krishna remains calm, balanced and peaceful. Aye, on the very battlefield, he is a speaker of the Gita to Arjuna and getting him on to fight, which is the dharma of a Kshatriya. Himself an agent to bring about this terrible warfare, Sri Krishna remains unattached to action. He did not take up arms. To whichever face of it you look, you will find the character of Sri Krishna perfect, as if he was the embodiment of knowledge, work, devotion, power of concentration, and everything. In the present age, this aspect of Sri Krishna should be specifically studied. Only contemplating the Krishna of Vrindavan with his flute won't do nowadays. That will not bring salvation to humanity. Now is needed the worship of Sri Krishna, uttering forth the lion roar of the Gita, of Rama with his bow and arrows, of Mahavira, of Mother Kali. Then only will the people grow strong by going to work with great energy and will. I have considered the matter most carefully and come to the conclusion that of those who profess and talk of religion nowadays in this country, the majority are full of morbidity, cracked brains, or fanatic. Without development of an abundance of rajas, you have hopes neither in this world nor in the next. The whole country is enveloped in intense tamas, and naturally the result is servitude in this life and hell in the next. So this powerful message. We see Krishna in Vrindavan playing with the gopis. We see Krishna in the Kurukshetra guiding Arjuna to follow the path of duty. Here he is a hero, there he is a god of love, playing the flute, singing and dancing with the girls. Our scriptures, are exaggerated a lot. Krishna had 1,600 wives. Lord knows. So somebody asked, Your God has 1600. But it proves that he was God. He can handle 1600 women. You cannot handle one woman. Funny. Kurukshetra. We see Krishna unattached, completely balanced, composed. No excitement. Sometimes when we are uncertain in the battlefield, what next? We become so perturbed, so much anxious, full of anxiousness, but completely unexcited. They was talking about Krishna in Kurukshetra. Swamiji gave a beautiful picture of Krishna. He was asking an artist, could you draw a painting for me? With left hand, he is holding 4 horses. His biceps, triceps, muscles are visible. On this side, he is talking Gita. Face full of serenity, tranquility, calmness, and giving the greatest teachings of the Vedanta to Arjuna. We see tremendous action in body, but his mind is calm, serene. Can you make a painting for me? Swamiji said, I am giving you the ideas how to draw that painting. Same thing, your body should be full of action, but mind should be calm, serene. How to do it? That is saying, follow Krishna and the Gita. He is teaching all 4 yogas. Karma yoga, very active. Jnana yoga, full wisdom. Raja yoga, tremendous concentration. And Bhakti yoga, love. Swamiji says, if we want to see an ideal character, that is Krishna. The person who created this Gita from the brain, well, you will not find a second brain like that in this world. So much balanced and full of wisdom. Unattached. That Krishna we need. Only contemplating Krishna of Vrindavan with his flute won't do nowadays. That will not bring salvation to humanity. But those who are Vaishnavas, they love that kind of thing, Only Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Only chanting God's name, they think that will be able to help humanity. Karma is necessary. Sri Krishna uttering forth the lion roar of the Gita, of Rama with bow and arrows, or Mahavira, Hanuman, Mother Kali, that we need at present. Swamiji saw the whole nation is sleeping. 40 koti. 400 million people are sleeping. And only 200,000 people are ruling, British. And here 400 million people are sleeping. And a couple of 100,000 English people are ruling all over India. That's Swamiji is telling. They prepared education for the native people to make clerks and so that their government will function well. All top position they are. And you people do the lower job. Now you can go up to deputy magistrate, not magistrate. Magistrate all English people. SP, English people. Superintendent of police. No Indians. So Swamiji was trying to bring this Rajas activity to rouse this subjugating nation. If you read his lectures from Colombo to Almora, when he returned to India in 1897, those lectures are so powerful. He awakened the whole nation through lectures. Religion. Those who profess and talk of religion nowadays in this country, the majority are full of morbidity, cracked brain, or fanatic. What a beautiful word Swamiji put. Cracked brain. Durpal, weak, confused brain, no zeal, no self-effort. Bhagavan ja karen, Sharir Kripa, God's grace. What will happen, it is Lord's will. I shall not do anything. One girl took initiation from me. And she does not want to work. I said, go to a nursing, she does not have much education, go to a nursing school so that here there is demand for nurses, so that you will get a job. She was massaging and all those things. I told her, that will not last long. Well, you initiated me, Sri Ramakrishna says, those are my devotees, then I shall take care of them. So Sri Ramakrishna will take care of me. Then I said, well, if you have that faith, you go and lie down on your bed. Sri Ramakrishna will buy groceries from Snook and cook and put food into your mouth. Go lie down. Go lie down. And Krishna says, Yogaksha, I shall carry their necessities, food, everything to my devotee. Those who, with one pointed heart, they meditate on me, think of me, and surrender themselves to me. I take care of them. So if you have that kind of faith, no problem. Go and lie down. Sri Ramakrishna will cook food and put into your mouth. This is what to do. Swamiji said, without this Rajas activity, which will know, neither you will be able to enjoy this life nor in the afterlife. Just lazy. Dashatva. You are a slave in this world and parokale norok. And after life you will go to hell. Disciple. Do you expect in view of the Rajas in the Westerners that they will gradually become Sattika? You came from the West. What have you seen in the Western people? Are they full of Rajas? They are gradually they will be turned into Sattvic, spiritual nature. Swamiji, certainly, pressed on a plenitude of rajas, possessed of a plenitude of rajas, they have now reached the culmination of bhoga or enjoyment. Do you think that it is not they, but you, who are going to achieve yoga, you who hang about for the sake of your bellies, at the sight of their highly refined enjoyment, the delineation of Meghadutta, Vidyudvantam Lalita Vasana, etc. comes to my mind. And your bhoga consists in lying on a ragged bed in a muggy room, multiplying progeny every year like a hog, begetting a band of famished beggars and slaves. Hence do I say, let people emerge energetic, active in the nature of stimulation of rajas. Work, work, work. Naina pantha vidyatayana. There is no other path of liberation but this. That Swamiji's words cannot be translated the way he scolded the Indian people. Shh. Shatshete ghore. Your room is dirty and Shatshete means dampy room. Poor, which is called in the slum area. Dampy room. Shatshete ghore. Chheda kathae shuye. Chheda katha means it is on the blanket made with cotton, torn clothes, they stitch and then they sleep. All torn clothes, they stitch and make a little thick, and with that they sleep. They do not have money to buy a blanket. Chheda katha. Katha means torn clothes blanket. শুয়ে বছরে বছরে সোরের মতো বংশবৃদ্ধি, begetting a band of famished beggars and slaves like a pigs. The pigs, they have lot of children they produce. Pigs, that's Swamiji said. Develop your Rajaguna activity. Then it says, Meghdute Vidyut Bantalar Chitta Mone Pade. He was talking about enjoyment in the Meghdut of Kalidasa. Vidyut Bantam Lolita Vasana Senrajapam Sachitra Sangitaya Prahita Muraja Snigdha Gambhira Ghosham Antastoyam Munimaya Bhuvastungam Abram Lihagraha Prasadastvam Tulaitamalam Jatra Swai Vishashai. Here says Jaksha, who was cursed, he was telling my sweetheart, my wife, you will find, oh cloud, carry my message to my sweetheart. So seeing the cloud, Meghadutam, you be my ambassador, carry my message, I am confined here, I am cursed, I cannot go and see you. Oh cloud, please carry my message to my beloved. The manifestations, how shall I know your beloved? Kalidasa is describing, this is a sign of my beloved. The mansions of that city will be compared with you, O cloud, for there is correspondence in features. While flashes of lightning play within you, they have charmingly attired damsels moving within them, which while you have the rainbow, they have their paintings. You have your deep rolling rumbles. They have their drums sounding forth music. You contain pellucid water within you. They have their interior bedecked with transparent gems. You soar so high, their roofs also kiss the sky. Kalidasa thus introduces his description of the enjoyments of Alokapuri. So, the reference here is not only to the first verse quoted, but also to the whole description which follows. It is so much imagination behind this Sanskrit literature of Kalidasa. Kwashit kanta viragurna pramadikar pramatta. Those verses are so poetic. My beloved is pining for me, crying for me. But I am cursed. I cannot go to her. Oh cloud, you carry my message. Work. Naina pantha vidyate ayanaya. If you do not work, there is no salvation for you. Disciple. Sir, did our forefathers possess this kind of rajas? Swamiji, why? Did they not? Does not history tell us that they established the colonies in many countries and sent preachers of religion to Tibet, China, Sumatra, and even to far off Japan? Do you think there is any other means of achieving progress except through rajas? Swamiji was talking about the glory of the ancient India. Dipankar crossed the Himalayas, carried the message of Buddha to China. Huan Shang came from China and solved the vast Indian civilization. You know, English people tried to rule India. They didn't want to live in India. So they call it Sonar Bharat, Golden India. So much natural resources. All the British wealth you find, they looted from India. Or Maharajas and all those things. Gems, jewels, gold. I used to tell my friend, in boyhood days when I used to read, we used to say, the sun never sets in British Empire. Around the globe, they have colonies. So my friends, Byron used to say, Swami, nowadays sun seldom rises in British Empire. Most of the time it's overcast in England. And all colonies are gone. But now sun seldom rises in British Empire. All the king, queens, their wealth came from where? From the colonies. They are looters, they are robbers. They robbed other nations and made themselves rich. If English people listen to my talk, they will think, they will not give me a visa to see. That is the history. I do not. It is not my words, it is history. It is a fact. If you read the history will tell you. As conversation thus went on, night approached. And meanwhile, Miss Muller came there. She was an English lady. Having great reverence for Swamiji, Swamiji introduced the disciple to her. And after a short talk, Miss Muller went upstairs. This Miss Muller this English woman gave money to buy our Belur Math property, 40,000 rupees at that time. So you see, English people helped the Ramakrishna mission. Mr. and Mrs. Xavier bought property for Ramakrishna, for Swamiji, Mayabhuti Advaita Ashrama. Goodwin, Englishman, Swamiji is a stenographer. Without Gujuin, we could not get so many lectures of Swamiji. So we were indebted to English people. And they taught us English, otherwise we could not function. You see, Parasparam, they gave to us. It is true. If the English people would not come to India, what would happen? It is God's grace they came to India. And really, I just think that many nations are so backward. India is so, they know English, international language. Swamiji admired the English people. They really know how to rule the people. The English character is very strong. Swamiji has more expectation among the English people than other people. But once they take it, they will hold it. All of our Swamis in the Ramakrishna Orjas, all stuff. Imagine England means we got English education. Still, all top people of the society, they have to learn English. There is no other way. They gave us railways, telegraph, industry. Swamiji, see to what a heroic nation they belong, English people. How far off in her home, and she is the daughter of a rich man, yet how long way has she come only with the hope of realizing the spiritual ideal. Swamiji is talking about Miss Muller. Disciple, yes sir, but your words are wonderful. Still, how so many Western ladies and gentlemen are always eager to serve you. For this age, it is very amazing indeed. Swamiji, if this body lasts, you will see many more things. If I can get some young men of heart and energy, I shall revolutionize the whole country. There are a few in Madras, but I have more hope in Bengal. Such clear brains are to be found scarcely in any other country. But they have no strength in their muscles. The brain and muscles must develop simultaneously. Iron nerves with an intelligent brain. And the whole world is at your feet. That is a great saying of Sri Ramakrishna. Iron nerves and well-intelligent brain. Iron nerves with a well-intelligent brain and the whole world is at your feet. Iron nerves with an, they remove the word well. Originally is there, well-intelligent brain. And the whole world is at your feet. Only good brain is not good. Or only good, strong body is not good. You will have to head and heart and head and hand and heart, all three must coincide. Then you can be great. That's what Swamiji was looking for. Word was brought that power, supper was ready for Swamiji. He said to the disciple, come and have a look at my food. While going on with the supper, he said, it is not good to take much fatty or oily substance. Roti is better than luchi. Luchi is the food of the sick. Take fish and meat with fresh vegetables, but sweets sparingly. While thus talking, he inquired, well, how many rotis have I taken? Am I to take more? He did not remember how much he took, and did not feel even if he had yet had any appetite. The sense of body faded away so much while he was talking. He finished after talking a little more. The disciple too also took leave and went back to Calcutta. Getting no cab for hire, he had to walk, and while walking he thought over in his mind how soon again he could come and the next day to see Swamiji. Somebody will have to tell him, did I eat all right? Nobody idea. His mind remains in the higher plane of consciousness. It shows that how a Nora Brahman lives in this world. Swamiji was talking about problem of the Indian food, especially Bengali food sometimes, not all purple, oily, spicy, luchi, fatty food. It takes time to digest. Swamiji was a very good cook. All right, up to this tonight.
Swami, when Vivekananda asked the artist to draw the picture of Krishna, did the artist do it? Do we have that picture?
No, we do not have that picture, but perhaps in our library, perhaps you have seen. Nandalal Bosu, that painting. He's teaching Gita. See that painting? That painting, when I came, I put that painting there. This side Krishna, this side Jesus. Those two pictures, Jesus pictures was there. So I thought, I must have a parallel. Christ, there must be Krishna. So Krishna, what picture? That picture came to my mind. It was a colored painting. From there I made a negative. From the negative I enlarged that photo. So that Krishna and Jesus are there in our library. Swamiji, when you read, in English I do not get too much joy, but when I read this book in Bengali, my blood just starts to boil. It gets heated. So much power in his words. স্যাঁতস্যাঁতে ঘরে ছেঁড়া খাতায় শুয়ে procreating children like hogs, pigs. How Swamiji scolded the Bengalis. So do you know one writer who says, Vivekananda মারিয়াছে জুতো খাইয়াছে পূজা. মানে Vivekananda beat the people with shoes and people worshipped him. মারিয়াছে জুতা খাইয়াছে পূজা. মারিয়াছে জুতা. Juta means shoes. He beat people with the shoes and all people worshipped him. I am telling you what is good for you. That's how I say. In America also he did the same thing. He's in San Francisco, in California, one day he told Jana, Madam, today you may curse me, but tomorrow you will bless me. I only told you what is good for you, without any ulterior motive. Out of compassion, out of love, I am telling you what is good for you. I have no expectation from you. In San Francisco said to another American woman, Madam, I will have to be born again. Why, Swamiji? Because then I fell in love with human beings. I love human beings. Read Swamiji in one life. Your whole life will be changed if you read only Swamiji. What a man he was. I never judge anything in my life for myself. If I judge anything wrong, that also I judge for others. Zero selfishness. And only love for human beings. For the reason I gave a lecture here, I love human beings. When I went to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, they asked me to give a lecture, so I gave that lecture there. I love human beings, so that I'm not trying to talk about God.